Welcome, everybody, to episode 245 of The Real China Show. And what a crazy show we have for you today.
Nuts. Cannot believe that this happened in China?
Well, I can believe it happened.
No, I can believe, but to the scale it was not allowed to, the scale it got to.
And the scale it actually got out. They weren't able to suppress the news quick enough.
Yeah, because China usually can just put a stranglehold on anything like this real quick.
Yeah.
Stamp it out. And that's why this stuff doesn't usually happen. Let's give you a little taste of what you're about to see.
Yeah.
100,000 people.
Let's have a very quick look over here.
Wanted to end on that guy.
Yeah. Well, you mean this guy over here?
Pretty iconic.
yourself?
That's
Yeah.
pretty iconic.
Yeah, the guy who was handcuffed and, they were beating him up and he managed to escape. That
Yes.
guy? Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to get into this. This is a huge event that's happened in China over the past week.
Yes.
We have a full show, though, so we're going to, ease
Yeah, I mean,
into
but
this.
I just want to clarify here. This event that happened is a full-on story. It's almost like a murder mystery.
Yeah.
It is.
It is,
And
yeah.
it turned into basically a revolution.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get into that
Yeah,
a
we'll
little
get into it for sure.
Tell
We'll
your
just-
friends, by the way. Give us a like, by the way. YouTube's been burying us. You guys have probably heard some stuff around the internet, right?
Yeah.
YouTube's been burying the absolute crap out of kind of China-related content or anti-CCP-related pro-China
Yes.
content.
Exactly.
They've been burying that kind of stuff. So if you could click like on
It
the
will
stream,
help
that
us
would
a
really
lot.
help. And if you're feeling super charitable, maybe
And
share
that's,
this out.
by the way, that's not a lie,
No.
It's not made up. We asked you guys to participate in a survey last time, and the results were very clear. YouTube is pushing pro-China content a lot more than it is anything that criticizes the Chinese government.
Whether that's on purpose or not,
Yeah,
it's a different
it's just
story.
the way it is.
Yeah.
So we could help, use your help, sorry. Anyway, I thought we'd start out with something to lighten the mood a little bit. Okay. I'd like you to take a look at what's going on here. So you're driving.
You know what's funny is that
What?
you say, I'm going to show you something that's going to lighten the mood. And last time you said something like that.
Yeah, I showed the Challenger disaster. I know. That was in Chabanao. Anyway, you can actually see that the date on this, it's interesting because it's the same day as the
revolution.
big thing that we're going to show you later, but it was in a completely different part of China.
Okay.
So you're driving along, and all of a sudden, this is what you see.
Oh, lightening that mood, I see.
Yeah. Well, the reason I'm saying it's kind of lighthearted is because nobody was hurt, and that's not like a fire or anything. Do you know what that is?
That looks like cement.
It is cement powder.
That's got to be so bad for your lungs.
Oh, don't breathe it. Yeah, it's lime. It's got lime
is my
in
point.
it or whatever.
Yeah, it
you know?
does. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the fruit.
No, of
the
course.
refreshing thing you put in a Corona.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Remember, and he couldn't even say that. He got like restricted. Or whatever.
Yes, I know Corona. You can say that. I'm gonna drink a Corona. I'm not a big fan of Corona. Coors is way better. Anyway,
They're the same thing.
no way.
You
One's
know that
weak.
meme that's like, this is the same. They're both are both are weak. It's Coors. I like how you said Coors isn't weak.
It's-
Coors light.
It's way more full-bodied, you know. Corona's just water.
What
with-
are we even talking about?
It's got yellow food dye in
I
it.
bet they're the same freaking.
Okay, anyway, so sorry. You saw the explosion. This is the aftermath.
Whoa,
一下子爆
holy
炸了，我们这
crap!
里
Yeah,
全部呢都是灰啊！就
Pause
刚刚
that. I
这
want to look at that. Look at that woman.
Yeah. What is that guy wearing? Like a panda
That
onesie
bro
or something? Or
looks like he could be related to Mao Xinyu.
yeah,
He could be
yeah.
a Oompa Loompa.
跟你聊天的时候，你
Yeah.
看
Not a
Look at
Oompa
this.
Loompa. What is that?
It is. It's an Oompa Loompa. Oh no,
it's the
Tweedledee Tweedledum. Yeah.
This guy.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is nasty.
Yeah.
You know, I used to do some landscaping work and some basic construction work for my dad's landscaping company when I was young. and I used to mix cement, right? You know, and you
Yeah.
put it in a thing, and you
I've done it a couple
make a
times,
little
yeah.
volcano-looking thing, and you mix in the soil, all that, and that cement powder is really not nice.
No.
So imagine you get just covered in it. That's really, and
What are you going to do to wash it off?
well, I mean, yeah, you try to wash it off in your hair and it sets.
you know those like living statues?
it's like
that
Medusa
busk?
looks at you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Castlevania reference.
Oh, yeah.
You know those living statues that busk?
Yes.
You have to become that
Yeah,
if you take a shower.
that's your new profession.
Yeah.
你看他们人，地上全是水泥啊
Who
什
is
么
the
的。
mud
你看
man? Too much Castlevania reference.
呀，外面
exactly.
你看那灰，你
I mean, look how thick that is. You know when they try to spray that down?
That's going to become
Got
a
to be
new
careful.
layer.
Everywhere that it goes into a drain or something, it's just going to create like a solid elephant's foot or whatever you call it.
You know, it'll be like, what is that, like Pompeii? Mike Pompeo, not Mike Pompeo. Pompeii.
Yeah, Pompeii. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry for shouting out my master.
Exactly.
The mount of the volcano that blew up and it solidified everything, like footprints and all the things.
Yeah, and all the
That's gonna be
people.
that. People
Yeah.
will be like, I remember this event.
Yeah, it's modern day Pompeii. Yeah.
你看那水果店的水果，
She's saying like, take a look at the fruit shop's fruit.
你看
I guess those are apples.
I can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
They've got a bit of a dusting.
这老
Yes,
老
yes.
板损失惨重啊。
Anyway, something kind of related to trucks that I wanted to show you. Listen,
Okay.
China is a land of lawlessness.
Stone
Okay.
lung. Okay, people are
It is
coming up with conditions.
exactly right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, it cemented its place in history.
Yes, it did.
Now, China's a place of lawlessness, and regulations don't mean anything in China.
No.
Okay, this is something that most people don't realize.
Unless you criticize the government.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's the one
Then
thing
you're
you can't do.
done. Yeah.
People think that China, because it's got a harsh authoritarian government, they keep
Yes.
people in line, but they don't. It's in fact incredibly difficult for China to keep people in line when it comes to things like regulations. What you've got here are a bunch of overloaded trucks, okay, trying to go up onto this bridge. Now, there have been a lot of problems in China with overloaded trucks destroying roads, causing bridges to collapse, etc. So what you've got here is you've got the authorities are like, okay, we got to check and make sure these trucks aren't overloaded.
Yes,
So they've parked a car, as you can see over there, you know, with its lights flashing, and they're
Okay.
like, okay, we're going to stop these trucks. They're putting out traffic cones,
Yeah.
okay, because they got to check these trucks.
Yes.
But this other truck's like, nah, squeezes past, and the other one's like, nah. Then the one over there is like, oh well, since you're doing it, I'm going to do
The
it.
guy getting inspected.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, what's going on? Yeah, they're driving over the cones. But okay, I would like everybody just to pay attention to the sheer amount of these trucks now on that one bridge. Okay?
Yes.
Every single one of those trucks is loaded to the brim. And they're all in a very short area, in one area. That poor bridge has to bear so much load in one little area.
So you guys always see those bridge collapses in China. Now
you wonder
know
why.
Yeah.
It's just this kind of ridiculousness happens. And of course, there's no respect for the law in China. Yeah. This is a bit of a funny clip. Like I said, we're trying to lighten the mood. Okay, Chinese bathrooms are weird.
Yeah.
Now, it's not to say you don't find normal bathrooms. You can.
Yeah, rarely.
Yeah, if you in public, it's rare.
Sure.
In your apartment, you can get a normal toilet or whatever. If you go into a fancy hotel or a nice shopping mall, you will find like a Western-style toilet. You'll find it like proper toilet stalls. But in most companies and most public toilets, it's actually just like an open pit, you know, pit toilet like this.
Yeah.
Squat toilet, as it's called.
Without barriers.
Yeah, but there's no barriers. There's no
This
privacy.
one takes it to a different level.
Yeah,
though.
we just thought we'd show you this one because, okay, fair enough. Like, you've got no privacy when you're doing your business, but okay, you go wash your hands. One thing you might not like about this particular situation is that your sweatshop's watching you, because there they are all doing their.
Can we see that again?
Yeah, I'll rewind it. Let's see. You've got your, you know, they've got their sewing machines out.
So if you're listening, by the way, there's 3 squat toilets. There's no barrier in between them. The camera pans.
Yeah. To
There's
where
a wo-
everybody.
There's a woman washing her hands after having just used it, presumably.
Yes.
And then the camera pans to the rest of her staff, co-ed
Yes.
staff,
Yes.
that are
Sewing
working
things,
on sewing
yeah,
machines
sewing
in a
things,
sweatshop.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, just thought we'd show you, you know,
Yes.
different, I don't know.
I'd like to ask you guys if you value your privacy.
Yeah.
Please give this a thumbs up. Please give this video a thumbs
Yeah,
up.
please
Thank
do.
you very much. Appreciate
Now,
it.
this is really funny. Okay, I think you can attest to this. Driving in China can be, well, not can be, it is a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
It's very bad.
Yeah.
One thing that really used to make me angry in China is that people drive with their high beams or their brights on
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
They don't turn them off.
A lot of times it's like default on.
Yeah, they leave it on,
Yeah.
right? Because, you know, they want to see better.
Yes.
That's the whole point, but it's very selfish.
Yes.
And they don't have any care in the world for anyone else because it's a selfish driving sort of a situation there. And that's why you have the brights on all the time because you don't care if you're blinding other people as long as you
Yeah,
can see.
I have a quick anecdote. I was in my dad was in the car with me, and he was just visiting. We were in a traffic circle, and you're supposed to follow the rules. You know, you yield and then get off. You know how a traffic circle works, like roundabout. And no one would. It was like 3 layers deep of cars cutting each other off, people going opposite direction, just honking, and he was having an actual like fit.
He's getting angry.
Like he was like, why isn't anyone letting you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it took me out of my, because I didn't feel a thing.
Yeah, because you're
I've been
used
there
to
so
it.
long,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it took me out of it to see another person have a normal reaction to how insane this is.
Yeah.
And you reminded me with the light thing. I just got used to it, but now it infuriates me if somebody has their high beams on by accident. By the way, the other day I was furious. So was my wife. Mm-hmm. And we were both like, wow, people always did that in China, though.
Yeah,
You know
they'll
what I
just
mean?
leave it on.
Yeah.
In fact, it was quite funny. In Shenzhen, the traffic police had a little, you know, sometimes they do these crackdowns.
Yeah.
It lasts a week and then they
Yeah.
never do it again.
Yes.
So they had this crackdown on people with high beams. And
Yeah.
what they do is if somebody was driving with their high beams and they caught them, they pull them over because they had a little roadblock. So if someone's coming down, they got their high beams on. They pull them over.
Yes.
They had a little stool. They put it in front of the car and they get the driver out and he had to sit in front of his own car and stare into his high beams for like a minute or something as punishment. They actually did that. It's crazy. But I mean,
And, you know, people will be like, yeah, go China, but they don't
No.
do that anywhere, and they do it once.
They did it once.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I saw the
funny.
pictures it was in the newspaper I read. Anyway, so these guys are like, okay, we're sick and tired of
这个
this.
装车顶上，是
So
专治远光狗。呀
I'll put the volume down. It's not really important what they're saying.
Sure. It's like a giant flashlight.
They have put together like the most powerful
It's insane.
flashlight ever and mounted it to the top of their car.
The heat that it must generate.
Oh, wow, it's just insane. And this is to get revenge on drivers. So what they'll do is their idea is like, okay, we'll warn them. Because like, look how bright that is, right? Yeah, look at it's like daylight. It's crazy.
It's beyond
Yeah.
daylight.
So you see they flash to warn someone and then,
And then they
bam.
go,
Okay.
Oh, so they don't just do it for first. They're like,
No,
hey, turn off your high beams.
Yeah, exactly.
They
So,
warn them.
Yeah. So they're going to go put this to the test. They're first testing this thing out, right?
Yes,
I mean, it's an impressive light, I got to say.
it is.
Now they're like, okay, turn it on.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. That was pretty impressive.
我去.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, it just lights everything up. So I want to see a victim.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there a victim in this?
There is.
Okay.
There's one victim. So
Okay,
there,
there you go.
there, you can see the guy's coming with his high beams on. You saw he
Yes.
flashed. Did you see he flashed?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did. There he's flashing
Oh
again.
yeah, okay.
he's
So the
warning.
driver with the flashlight. We're in the perspective of the
Yes,
driver with the
yeah.
flashlight. He's warning oncoming driver, "Hey, put your high beams down."
Yeah, it's put your high beams down. The guy just doesn't, because that's so common in China. It's not even
Yes.
funny. He's like, okay, fine. You know what? He's like, flashy, come on.
The guy back is
They
flashing back.
say flashes back at him.
But he
He's
puts
like,
it
"Get
back
out of
on. Oh, the guy,
got his
had to
hazards
stop.
on, yeah.
He put his hazards on.
And he put his sunglasses
You
on.
know that's way brighter than it actually looks like.
Yes.
You know that.
Absolutely. It's super crazy.
Freaking
I just thought, that's
Let's see that one part
Yeah,
again.
I love
where they
it.
warn them.
it's Chinese ingenuity right there. I love it.
Yeah. I see you.
Yeah.
You're not gonna turn him off?
I think everybody in our audience right now kind of wishes they had one of these lights.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's incredible. I love it. Anyway, let's move on. This is interesting. Okay. This is a Consulate General of the United States of America in this one. Well, it's in China. I don't know exactly which one this is. It could be
It's too
the...
small. I can't see it. It's in China.
Yeah.
It's a consulate. Could be Guangzhou.
Yeah, it could be Guangzhou. It could be Beijing. Anyway, what you do is you have these consulate generals in certain cities around China.
Yeah.
I was always jealous because America has consulate generals all over China, and South Africa
there's
only
5,
has
yeah.
like one in Shanghai. No, 2. One in Shanghai, one in Beijing.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I tried to find out what their opening hours were, and nobody could tell me. The website didn't work. And then when I went there, it was closed. And I went there another time and I got in and asked him, what are your opening hours? And the guy, they didn't know. So they called like one of the officials down or whatever. And he's like, sometimes we're open, sometimes this time, sometimes that time. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
the American one's a little more organized very on the dot.
Yeah,
like
very
I always
organized.
said, I will say this. Every time I had to go to the consulate or the embassy for America in China, it was a pleasant experience.
Yeah, I had to go there to get my visa to come to America.
That's right.
Because you have to go for a visa interview. And that's what's relevant here is you've got a crowd of people in China standing outside. And these crowds are every day, 7 days a week or whenever it's open. It's probably not open on Sunday. Open all the time. What's up?
I just have a problem with what you're saying.
What?
Because you're implying that Chinese people want to leave China. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is what I'm trying to get at here. Every day the consulate's open.
Yeah.
From early morning, you have huge queues, okay? All waiting to get in to get their visa interviews.
Yeah.
To get their tourist visa
Well, why
or their
would Chinese
business
people
visa.
want to leave China? It's utopia, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
All the shills told me that Chinese people love to live in China and it's the best place in the world and no one wants to come to America.
No, apparently that's what they say, right?
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, so I just wanted to show you what's happening here. The United States of America Consulate General over here has actually run out of its quota for the week because they have a quota on how many people they can see, right?
So what you're saying is not only are Chinese people wanting to leave China to run away to America, but they're doing it so much that they're running out of quota.
Yeah, the quota. So they have, because they only have a certain amount of staff members, right?
I thought China was doing well.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so this woman from the Consulate General has come out with a megaphone to say, sorry, we've run out of our quota. We can't see anyone this week. Come back next week.
That woman's look is iconic.
I know. So let's see what happens.
下周加号，是的，下周加号。
So it's not the woman with the megaphone shouting that. That's the person filming this in the crowd saying, increase the quota next week.
Because they ran out of slots.
Yeah, they ran out of slots because, I mean, there's just too many. It's overwhelming, the amount of Chinese people lining up to get their visas to leave China, to flee.
I keep hearing that America is like broken and a terrible country.
No, it's, well, yeah.
From
that's what you hear.
Americans.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway,
Who would want to come here?
yeah. So the lady on the megaphone saying, look, I'm sorry, we run out of quota, right?
Yes.
Sorry is enough.
And they're shouting, sorry isn't enough. Isn't that weird to be so rude to someone you're basically asking if you can get permission to go to their country?
I'd like to think they're
And then you're
desperate.
like, screw you, add more. And like, sorry isn't good enough.
Well, yeah.
You know?
The plight is real, though.
Yeah.
I mean, people are running away.
But don't be rude.
No, she's being rude. Everyone
Yeah.
else doesn't deserve to
Be
be
respectful.
lumped in with her.
If I was like the woman with the megaphone, I'd be like, oh, what's your name?
Out.
What's your name?
You in particular? Get out of here.
Blacklist, get out of here.
America's a fair country.
Of course. What's this
Chill out with the
music?
music.
Anyway, moving on from that. Wait, didn't you have where's the
It's
part?
there,
It's
it's
there?
there.
It's a,
We just got through this. It's fine.
we'll go back. Okay.
Okay, go back to that graph.
This one.
No,
The graph?
right before that.
The graph is
There you go.
there.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, guys, this is huge.
Yes.
This is proof in the pudding. I was being facetious earlier, by
Yeah,
the way.
I know.
Obviously, there are countless Chinese people running away from China to come to the U.S. In fact, it is so out of control that it's gone through the roof. And
Yes.
finally, somebody put some data to this.
Yes.
So Safeguard Defenders, one of our favorite groups, they're the ones that discovered the Chinese secret police stations
Yes.
in America and then abroad.
Based out of Spain.
Yeah, they're out of Madrid, Spain. They're a group that goes and tracks with data, right, and proof the human rights abuses, transnational repression, all that kind of stuff that Chinese government commits. And this is what they found. This has been fascinating.
It is.
So the first part of the graph, you see the Hu Jintao era. So this is when Hu Jintao, the leader prior to the current leader,
Yeah.
was ruling. Now, he was an authoritarian dictator, and China was a horrible dictatorship. However, look at the amount of people running away to America with asylum, right? Looking
During
for
that
asylum,
time.
right?
Yeah.
Or,
the
anywhere,
thing is,
really.
like,
Sorry.
Hu Jintao era is when we really enjoyed China. It was,
Yeah, I mean, well, because
while we were there,
it felt like China was a horrible dictatorship, but on the surface, it felt like it was opening up.
Yes.
So things were getting better for people in
Oh,
China,
yes,
it was symptomatic, right? So if
Yeah.
you look at this, when we were in China, everything was pretty hunky-dory and not many people were fleeing,
Yes.
right? You did have Tibetans fleeing.
Yes.
And you did have like Falun Gong practitioners
Oh, of course. I
fleeing.
mean, look, there were always people trying to get out.
Yes. But then you look at the next era, Xi Jinping era, which we also lived under.
Yes.
And you know how we always talk about how China, this graph perfectly shows us how China changed when
Yes.
we were there.
Yes, under
and
Xi
how it
Jinping.
got so much worse. And if you're there now and you're defending the Chinese government now, you're absolutely compromised or on the
Correct.
payroll because it is so palpable, not to us,
Yep.
not to just foreigners in China, but to everyone in China. Look at the amount of asylum seekers now.
Yeah.
And some people might say, well, I'm going to blame COVID. Look at this. All the years prior to COVID, it just goes.
Yeah.
Chinese people, by the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, are fleeing en masse. In fact, the last year,
2024. That's not COVID year.
is unprecedented, the amount of Chinese people that are fleeing China and getting
Yeah.
asylum. This is not just, by the way, not just people leaving.
Yeah.
This is people trying to leave for asylum because they feel
Yes.
persecuted.
Yeah, so it's not just I'm going on a holiday. You know, by the way, you'll often get this graph that apologists for the Chinese government
Yeah.
share where they say this amount of Chinese people migrated and
Yeah.
this amount of Americans migrated.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever
But that
heard.
graph is incorrect because
Yeah.
the migrated means you've traveled and you've gone overseas and
Yeah.
you've stayed. The stat that they use for America are the amount of people that went on holiday and came back. Because
This is
you know what I mean? Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's crazy because if you look at the sources that they use, it's like the whatever
The travel groups or
travels.
whatever.
Yeah, and it's
That's
basically
so funny.
if somebody goes into Mexico for lunch and comes back, they
right.
get added to that
That's
number.
so funny.
Yeah. So anyway, just if
this
you
is
see that,
asylum
yeah, this is
seekers.
asylum.
These are people
seekers.
fearing political persecution, running, leaving everything behind.
Yeah.
To run away from China. That graph could not speak more volumes than this.
Correct.
It's insane. Like you can just show this to someone. This is how. Hey, how bad has China gotten? To show them this graph.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Because that's asylum.
Yes.
That's not like, oh, I want to go work overseas or I have family
No.
or something. That's going overseas and saying, I am persecuted, I'm fear for my safety, I would like to claim asylum.
Yes.
Just so you know. Okay, cool.
It's exploded.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it really ties together with this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, a Chinese economist, right, that had dealings with the Chinese government, made some very innocuous statements, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what did he
Very,
say?
very innocuous statements. Just talking about the about how the GDP numbers or the economic figures coming out of China are, it's very hard to get a read on them.
Yeah.
Right? It's very hard to get a read on them to make decisions about the Chinese economy because they keep getting stifled, they keep getting deleted or subverted, right? The Chinese government's trying to hide everything related to the economy because the economy is doing poorly. I think you can
Yeah.
see just even based on the asylum graph, the Chinese economy is doing horrible.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, you can see over there in the little subtitle, it says that he questioned Beijing's ability to boost its economy as threats loom from a property meltdown.
This isn't someone that said, I'm going to go overthrow the government.
Yeah.
This is somebody that questioned the ability
Yeah.
to make economic
It's kind of like this. Yeah, we're doing we seem to be doing okay, guys, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to meet our targets.
Correct. Yeah, that's
That's what he
correct, right.
what he said.
And now,
And,
out. You're done.
yeah.
And that's the thing is that I think that's indicative of the climate right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You even if you're doing your job, so you imagine this.
Yeah.
The president says, "I anoint you as the economic guy. Please tell us about the economy." He goes, "I don't think it's doing very well." "Oh, you're done. You're out of here," right? Isn't that indicative of what's happening?
Yeah, look,
Right?
it says over here, we do not know the true number of China's real growth figure, he said in December 12th in a webcast, right?
Yeah.
My own speculation is that the past 2 to 3 years, the real gross domestic product growth number on average might be around 2%, even though the official number is close to 5%.
That's his job. His job is to analyze the economy in China.
Yeah,
Right? That's it.
that's it. Yeah,
His job is also to be the outward facing that he's to talk to people about it.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. Well, I mean, you can't question the official numbers.
No. But then why do you have the job?
Yeah.
why, you know? But
Yeah.
to be fair, they're reducing those amount of jobs, right? They're getting rid of people that were reporting on the youth unemployment.
Yeah.
Right? So what does that tell you?
Well, yeah, it's just it's basically a terrible situation. You can understand why so many people are leaving.
Yeah. So he was
how many
banned.
people were left? Didn't they?
180,000 this year just
Yep.
for asylum.
Just for asylum. And
Not-
that's just asylum.
Over
That's-
a million for
that
everything
is-
else.
Yeah, that's not including the illegal guys who came
No,
through the
no,
border
no,
through
no.
Mexico
Not
and all
yet.
that.
Not yet.
No.
It's not until they've been counted with their
Yeah,
case,
exactly.
right?
That doesn't include the legal students that are here on student visas or
and
H-1B.
stay. Right.
You know, like TikTok hired a lot of ByteDance hired a lot of Chinese people on H-1B visas
Sure.
to come here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying those numbers that you saw don't include the legal stuff
No.
or illegal stuff. That is just asylum seekers.
Correct.
Anyway, we wanted to show you, this property market that everyone goes on about. It's something that we both lived through and experienced in China. This is the kind of place that you might be paying a lot of money to stay in.
This is your utopia. China's the utopia, guys. They
Yes.
figured it all out.
Yep.
They figured everything out. Don't you want to live in that?
Yeah.
You want to look out your window into another dark alley of another apartment?
Yeah, these are
These are everywhere.
Yeah, they used to be called handshake apartments when there were those little 7th-floor walk-ups. You know, those like Mario-style places in the chemical zones. Yeah, exactly.
It's two video games mixed there.
Exactly. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, this is the kind of place that you would spend a lot of money to buy. And you can see down there, you've got the urban villages still.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be knocked down to build more of these high rises.
And so people are paying hundreds of thousands of US dollars to buy those. But this is what happens.
Yeah, now these are ones that will never be completed. So they've already been paid for.
People bought them.
Yes, you invest.
Yes.
This is what's happening in China right now all over the place with the property sector.
All over.
People buy it, and it's crazy. You start paying your mortgage even before they break ground.
They haven't even brought the bulldozers in.
Yeah. Just imagine that. It's like, okay, you want to rent a place.
Yeah.
But then you have to start renting it like years before you actually move
They're
in.
like, we're going to put you on a list. Pay 5 years rent.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can get in there.
Yeah. Pay 5 years rent. You're not going to get that money back.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah. That's what's happening here.
So the people, by the time these are made, they can't be finished because the investment money ran out, right?
Yeah, so the real estate company will run away or
Yes.
default or bankrupt or make up an excuse or whatever. They don't have to deliver.
Right.
But they've been taking all the money every month from these investors. It's a
Right.
horrible situation
Yes.
for people. So just wanted to throw a bit of a wake-up call there for everybody.
Yes, that's a good
Yeah.
point. I mean, look at these. Imagine you just spent $500,000 on one of these, right?
Yeah,
Your entire life savings,
yeah.
and you can never live in it. And it's now worthless. Are you going to be able to sell that?
Nope.
Because what happened was a lot of these people, they flipped it. They've been
Yeah,
flipping it before it's
speculation.
even done.
Yes,
right?
that's the thing. They have been because, okay, that's a prime piece of real estate.
Yeah.
I bought it.
Yeah.
It's going to be completed in 2027
Yes,
or something.
exactly.
It's like, okay, but you can buy it from me now
Right.
at a bigger price.
And they've done it 3 times.
Yes.
Right. And then now the last person,
It's holding the bag.
they're holding the bag and they
Yeah.
go, can I sell this? Nope.
Nope.
Because people are like, oh, that building's been decrepit for 5 years. We walked into these. Remember, we
Yes.
walked into these developments that were these villas, these beautiful houses that were supposed to have been built. 3 years in, they weren't finished,
Yep.
and they were already rotting and falling apart. You couldn't live in them even if they finished them,
Exactly.
'cause
It's
they
just
were
rubbish.
decrepit.
Yeah.
That's the state of China's economy,
Yeah.
honestly. It's bad.
Yeah, moving on to some tech news here. I used to go to Huajianbei all the time in Shenzhen. That's where all the iPhones, get recycled. You know when your iPhone is stolen?
Yes.
You see this often. People use that like Find My
Yeah.
Apple, and it always ends up in Shenzhen in China.
Every
Because
time.
and they've got these fantastic markets in Shenzhen. If you have an Apple device and you need something replaced, like I had my laptop pretty much rebuilt.
Yeah.
I had a MacBook that was broken and it
Right.
needed a new screen, new motherboard, new RAM, all that kind of stuff. You go there and they source all the parts and they fix it. It's the same with phones. They get the stolen phones, they remove the screens and the batteries and all those things, and then somebody has a broken iPhone, you take it in there, they can replace your screen with a stolen one or whatever. That's how it goes.
But it gets even worse, right?
Yeah. Well, this, as you can see, is a guy in Huajianbei removing the seal on a new iPhone, brand new iPhone, right?
Okay. With a heat gun.
Yeah. Okay. That way he can gain access to it and replace whatever he wants to replace. He can put a counterfeit screen on.
Right.
He can take
keep the good parts.
Yeah, he can put in an old battery. He can do whatever he wants now that he's gained access to it. He can put a whole fake phone in there.
Remember that happened with my watch, right?
Yes.
I brought in my watch. It was just a Tissot quartz watch, but it was like $500.
Yeah, it's a nice watch.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And I got it to get the battery replaced. I brought it back, and I noticed something was weird about it, but only like months later.
Yeah.
I was like, why is there's like misprints on the dial? What he did was he swapped all the guts out of the watch.
Yeah, he swapped the movement
and
out.
the dial.
Yeah.
Right? The movement and the dial. And
Yeah.
then I'm using it, and then all of a sudden the hands are getting stuck on each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with this,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So when you go buy a brand new iPhone in China, mainland China, and you don't go to an official Apple store, you're really taking a gamble because you don't know what you're getting. But not only that, they then sell these on all sorts of like e-commerce platforms.
Yep.
You know, you might be getting a gray market brand new iPhone. Don't fall for that stuff.
Yeah. Just don't cut corners.
Yeah, just
and
go to
take
the Apple
shortcuts,
store.
you know.
You know what I mean?
Nung pian jiu pian, dude.
Yeah, nung pian jiu pian. Because look,
If you
now
can
it's
cheat, you cheat. That's what that means.
fully sealed again. Okay.
What's this?
This over here, is this the... Yeah. There were a ton of little earthquakes. Where was this again?
Just play it. There's a ton of footage. Just play it all. This
right.
is in Ningxia and
That's
Yinchuan.
right.
Yinchuan, great city in China, actually.
Yeah,
had a
very,
great
very
time
cool.
there. Had an awesome time there. John Cena lived there for a little while. weirdly
Yeah,
enough.
because have an ice cream or whatever. Binjilin.
Was he in Yinchuan with that clip?
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway,
May as well.
It's a Muslim province in China, and what happened was a series of small earthquakes.
Yeah, there was like 53 earthquakes in a day. All very small.
Small
though.
ones.
Yeah.
They're under like four-ish Richter scale, right?
Yeah, 4 and under, yeah.
But people started spazzing. Right?
Yeah.
They go, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be around because they know what happens with earthquakes in China. It's not a good track record. What? How many tens of thousands of people
Yeah,
died
like
in the Sichuan?
80,000 or something.
Sichuan earthquake in 2008, right?
Yeah, it was terrible.
So people remember that's fresh in their mind. They
Yeah.
go, every time this happens, the government downplays it, and then we actually die.
Yes.
Right? And the rescue efforts usually suck.
Yeah.
So they start leaving, and it causes chaos, right? Everyone starts panicking and trying to leave the city.
Yeah, which you can imagine caused huge traffic jams and problems, right?
Yeah, so that was just one person's way, but you see what
Yeah.
happened here. This is what occurred. So people got clogged, and then it was this cumulative panic because they were like, not only am I trying to run away from these earthquakes, but now I'm trapped in like where the epicenters would be with all these people.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like this, people were passing out and going crazy.
Yeah, no, it's quite insane. And, again, you get stuck in those traffic jams in China, they do not move.
No.
You can be stuck for hours without
Yeah.
moving an inch. It's happened to me multiple times.
Yeah.
Anyway, luckily there wasn't a big earthquake. Everybody just was worried that a big one would come.
Yes.
But there was actually a big earthquake in China, but not there.
It was almost like they had foretold.
It was like
something.
a prophecy.
Yeah, it was a
almost.
prophecy, an omen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because just after that, there was a massive earthquake it was a 7.1?
Yeah, I think so.
In Tibet.
Yeah. By the way, the Chinese government has been using this opportunity to try and whitewash the name Tibet off the map.
That's actually something we wanted to bring
Yeah,
up.
they're not saying Xizang everywhere.
So China's name for Tibet, as you can see here, this is some of the aftermath
Yeah.
of this horrible 100-something plus people officially died.
Yeah, who
we know what
knows?
that means.
Yeah, many more.
Many more. So China's renamed Tibet because they don't want it to be its own territory. They claim it. They took it, right? Remember,
Yeah.
China's not an imperialist. They literally took Tibet away
Yes,
and
that's
made
right.
it their own province. They renamed it Xizang, right? Now Xizang is now the official name in China for Tibet, and now they're actually writing that in their English media. They're writing
Yeah.
Xizang instead of Tibet because they don't want foreigners like us calling
Yeah.
it Tibet.
That's right. So the problem with this is they've been denying foreign rescue workers. They've been denying foreign press to get in there as usual because it's such a sensitive area.
Yeah.
So because of their own, stubbornness and horribleness, if that's a word even.
Well, yeah.
They are actually not
malicious.
saving lives.
Yes.
They would rather people suffer and not receive help.
I think the biggest thing they're trying to do right now is to make sure foreign journalists don't cover the true aftermath of it. Because what they've learned from the prior earthquake, remember when they cut off, in 2008, when tens of thousands of people died in Sichuan, they cut off their cell phone.
They turned off the cell phone signal.
so
because,
they couldn't get messages to each other or videos or calls.
Yeah, because they didn't want the news spreading.
Yes.
And they also denied, for instance, Japan has the best earthquake response teams
they found
ever.
it.
Yeah, but the Japan, they said, we're coming, we're volunteering, we're
we
going to
got
come
you.
help. And they didn't let them go in.
Nope.
They didn't let them help. You know what I mean?
So this is the thing, is that I think they learned from that, and then they learned from COVID.
Yeah.
And they learned from the Hong Kong protests and all these horrible cataclysmic events that really were bad for China.
Yeah.
to just not let people see it.
Yeah,
and
because
then they can control the narrative.
They can control the media. They can let these few shots go out.
Yeah.
They'll say, okay, BBC, here's some footage.
I want to say this actually worked this time because there was no public discourse about this being mishandled.
Yeah.
In all the footage I saw on mainstream media, there was no rogue journalist or anything. It was their propaganda pieces. They were like, that you could see some of the rescue workers like look into the camera and stuff. That's not
PLA
to diminish
guys.
their efforts, by the way. But they're like, it's very organized and it worked this time. They got this story fully controlled.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't hear about it anymore.
Nope. And that's what they do. They sweep it under the rug. You never hear about it again. It goes, the news cycle doesn't even cycle.
Nope. Doesn't need to.
Yes. Anyway, we've still got a lot coming up, and we've still got some fun stuff too. So don't worry, it's not doom and gloom. But first, we have a word.
Yes. Ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Are you? I'm asking you a
Yes.
question.
Just let me get us out of the rescue effort footage.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Factor
let's do
has
it.
chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved, and they're ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel right and feel good no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. Lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals. Based on a randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, results will vary depending on diet and exercise. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. You know what I loved?
What?
That all these are delicious. We've been eating Factor meals.
I mean,
They're
it surprised. It
fantastic.
absolutely surprised me.
So we tried a bunch of their meals, and I will say they taste like restaurant food. It's not like the frozen crap you get now. It's never frozen. It's chef prepared stuff. We particularly loved a lot of the pasta and meat dishes that they had sent over. A couple that I highlighted here on this ad here is the truffle butter filet mignon with potato leek mashed potatoes. You got chicken pot pie pasta with cauliflower and broccoli. Louisiana shrimp. Does this look like stuff that's you're in your frozen aisle? Absolutely not.
No,
because it's delicious. It's healthy, and I love that it comes with a transparent ingredients list.
Yes.
I don't see any stuff I don't want to put in my body. It's very good, clean stuff.
Yeah.
I love
By
it.
the way, before we get into Slopaganda, give me a second here. I forgot about something.
What's that?
I bet you wish I'd forgotten about it.
You wish I had? Oh, come on.
I bet you wish I'd forgotten about this. Okay, before we get into Slopaganda. What?
Can I finish this?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought, why? Because it done. Yeah, let's get back to our word. Yeah, keep going.
Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/ADV50off. That's ADV50off. And use the code ADV50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code ADV50off at factormeals.com/ADV50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
Correct. Anyway, we love Factor. Absolutely can recommend it. Don't tell my wife, but I prefer it to her cooking.
Ooh, that's going to get out.
Yeah.
That's
Just a joke. Just completely joke. No, but quite seriously, love it. It's amazing. And I've had some of our subscribers reach out who actually used it, and they love it too. So give it a try.
Definitely.
Now, I wanted to tell you about something. Thank you once again to Factor. Got this really interesting thing here. Okay. And it's
not related.
It's food.
Unrelated. No, I'm just making sure, guys.
It's completely unrelated. Yeah, it's completely unrelated. And it says on the label here, avoid making sense since 2014.
That's not a good thing. This is not an ad, by the way.
No, this is not an ad.
I just want people to know.
Yeah.
Get out of ad mode.
It's not. This is not an ad. This is salmiakki, but it's this like.
Can I say something about salmiakki?
Yeah.
So when I was in Finland,
yeah,
my Finnish friends, the Finns, they recommended me to try salmiakki, and they explained it as licorice that's a bit salty, right?
Sure.
Number one, I don't like licorice. I used to pretend I liked licorice when I was a kid because all the other kids said they hated it.
I've never liked it.
It sucks. It's freaking terrible. Turns out it's bad for you too. Bad for your heart.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wasn't prepared for how bad it was because I was like, well, it's just licorice that's a little salty. I tried it, and I cannot tell you, it tastes like permanent markers mixed with ammonia, mixed with salt, and that is the worst combo ever. So we got a different kind sent to us, where I still hated it.
It's pretty good,
And
though.
then you,
I liked
but
it.
you like bad things, and I don't mean that from your taste.
Yeah.
You even will think something is bad, but you'll still eat it, and
True.
you like the challenge. It's almost like masochism.
Yeah.
It's weird, but you do.
Yeah. I finished all of that.
But you were taught. Can you explain this one to us?
But now this one, okay, so this is a friend of the channel sent this in. And this is like apparently the strongest type you can get.
I already hate the weak one.
So now I'm pretty good at eating stuff that's maybe
Sure.
a little difficult. You
We
know?
both are.
Yeah, that's true. So when this arrived the other night, I'm like, I'll give it a try. And I bit half. You can see one of them's like half eaten. I bit half and I was like, wow. Okay, now that, and you know, I'll downplay things, but I'm not going to downplay this. This one's pretty harsh.
You're gonna
So-
eat it with me. If
Yeah,
we eat it.
no,
Okay.
we've decided.
It smells like urinal cakes, by the way. I haven't smelled this one, but
Yeah.
the normal one does.
Yum-cha, which is our Q&A segment at the
Okay.
end, we're going to eat it then. Okay, so I just
Thumbs up
wanted,
if you want us to eat it.
yeah, so I just wanted to bring this up because this is going to be something, yeah, take a look.
It's all in Swedish. You know what's funny?
What?
Is that looks like sugar on the outside of the licorice, but I know that's ammonia salts.
It's going to be, yeah, you're going to be,
Why would someone want to eat ammonia salts? That's like a petri dish chemistry experiment.
yeah, who knows? Anyway, stick around till the end of the show so you can watch us eat that. Okay, it's slopaganda time, guys. Now, slopaganda is where China tries to put out propaganda and it kind of falls short. And we've seen this crazy thing these days where China's been trying to make this tourism thing happen, right?
Yes, they have. This is so funny.
It is because, you know, the thing is China's very hostile to tourists.
Yes, it's horrible.
It's terrible. And I'm not trying to say that in...
Make us big when
Yeah,
we talk
okay.
about this.
Okay, there we go. I'm not trying to say that in a like, I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm saying it's actually gotten worse.
Yes.
If
China's harder to travel in now, even with their big tourist push, than it was when we were there.
Yeah, because now cash is not accepted
Yes.
anywhere.
Yeah.
And when we left, it was already like that. You'll get like even a street food stall that makes like cheap noodles, like
Yes.
dollar noodles, can only accept WeChat Pay or Zhifubao, Alipay.
Yes.
Yes. And the problem is, in order for you to pay for things in China, you need to install WeChat
Yes.
or Alipay on your phone.
Yes.
And the problem with that is you have to install the app, which gets access to everything.
Yeah.
You have to provide your ID. You can't just register it. It needs to have a phone number. It needs to have an ID attached to it. It's a big, long process.
You're relinquishing your entire identity to the Chinese government and everything you do
Yes,
to eat some cheap noodles on the street. I just wanted to
Yeah.
read 2 comments.
sure.
This is from people that were just recently there.
You recently went on.
Okay.
Okay.
Give away your privacy via phone permissions and credit card information forever to go to China to eat some shit noodles and get food poisoning.
Okay,
Number
that's
2.
a bit harsh, but yeah.
But I'm reading
But yeah,
comments.
okay,
you know?
reading comments, yeah.
Why would someone want to go there? This is someone that recently went. Can't rent a car, can't pay for a taxi, can't use your email or social media services, communication apps, absolutely not set up for tourism except for internal Chinese domestic tourism for Chinese people. It's true.
It's true. So unless you're going to the Shanghai, Beijing, that type of place, you know, you're not going to have a good time of it.
Well, it's tough even for that. You got to set up all that stuff first.
And you have to be careful of all the scammers.
And you know what the best way, by the way, the best way to become a political hostage, especially as an American right now, is to go to China. Is there a better country to go to become a political hostage than China?
North Korea.
Maybe. I don't think North Korea will overstep their boundaries with that right now. Also,
Maybe.
it's illegal to go there for an American.
Oh, okay.
China is the quickest and easiest way.
I'd
Because
say
China
so.
does take political hostages.
They do. They
Yeah.
do. Anyway, so in an effort to bring in tourists, they've tried to launch all these schemes. You saw last time we showed you the Beijing Pass,
Yes.
Beijing Pass.
We're starting to put a lot of these together.
Now they're trying. Well, we'll just show it to you.
Yeah.
How about that? Okay, let's get right into it, guys. Slopaganda, here we go.
Alfred Shilcock.
Oh yes.
These characters are in Chinese. I'm supposed to meet Lolana. How can I even find the right street? I need to give her a call. Ah.
Hey Tom, are you close?
Well, not exactly. I'm lost. The map is only in Chinese, and I'm totally confused. Isn't there some way to get directions in English?
No worries. In China, you can dial the 12345 hotline.
Really? Oh, okay. I'll give it a try.
你好，12345热线。
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
你说啥？
Characters are in Chinese. I'm supposed to meet Lolana. How can I even find the right street?
我操！你说人话吧。
Map is only in Chinese, and I'm totally confused.
这是中国，你看不懂中文干嘛？
Ah,
别浪费我的时间。
I really appreciate that, and hopefully I find my way. Ah, I'm lost, and I'm totally confused.
Hi, Tom. You've made it.
Finally, I finally found you. Yeah, this really helped. This really comes in handy, and it's very similar to what we have in America, which is 311 for non-emergency services. But they have the same exact service here in China.
Exactly. The 12345 hotline is just like the Chinese version of 311, but it offers more support in various types of issues, from personal issues like finding direction to business requests, public service matters, and even community concerns.
Wow, so not just for individuals?
Right. For example, if a business owner needs help with local permits or a neighborhood has issues with street maintenance, they can all call it for assistance.
This is absolutely amazing. This is really helpful for urban management issues.
Yes. So now let's hear from a hotline manager in Beijing to see how it all works.
Sure.
With QR codes, slots can be used for sports to install more smoother and enjoyable.
Wow, that's amazing.
Sorry, we shouldn't be having this much fun.
I love what you did to that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, what do I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You didn't edit that at all.
No. May have added a few things.
You know what's funny though is they're trying to make fetch happen.
Yes.
Right. Well, I promise you, we're not trying to make Hippo Hub happen.
No.
They're trying to make fetch happen because this push they've done for tourism for foreigners to come to China has been an abject failure, and I'd love to see it because the amount of money they've wasted on trying to whitewash China's atrocities has actually just gone down the toilet. And I was actually worried that these thousands of pro-tourism Chinese shill videos that I've seen, even like travel channels that I respect, taking the bait and going to China and doing all these very weird pro-China videos. I'm glad to see they're not actually working.
Yeah.
It's actually not. They're flushing money
I mean,
down.
one thing people don't realize is that because we've been reached out by these agents from China to offer us these trips.
Yeah.
They pay for everything and they organize everything. So when you get there, you're not just fresh off the boat stepping like, what am I going to do here? They have someone who's meeting them and setting their phone up with payment, telling them how to get around and that type of thing.
I just want to say something real quick. Those channels that have been, like if you see a travel channel or a channel that's out of the blue.
It's like
specifically
this
going
city
to,
with 36 million people, no one's ever heard
going
of.
to Chongqing.
Chongqing,
If you start seeing this stuff, my recommendation would be for those channels to be like transparent about what offer they took or whatever, because it's starting to come into public light now.
Yeah, it's gonna be very easy.
It's starting to become obvious.
Yeah, we've got an idea to show everybody just how obvious it is.
It's not a secret. We think we figured it out. Anyway, the funny thing is with this.
Let's take a quick look.
These characters are in
I'd like to point something out here, okay? We can understand Chinese. Now, it says at the bottom there that it's going to take 1 hour, 14 minutes to walk to his destination.
Yes, I love that.
Okay, you can see that. It's right over here for those of you who want to check. If you want to do a screen, like a Google Translate if you want. But basically, first of all, he already has a destination in there, right?
Yes.
So why would he need... He could just follow that line.
Number two, I have another caveat, but this is a plot hole.
What, that he couldn't walk for an hour and 15 minutes? I mean, I feel like he'd struggle. No joke. You know what I mean?
Well, that aside.
Okay.
This guy apparently has been in China for over a decade.
Yes.
So why can't he understand the street signs? 10 plus years? Come on.
I know.
That's a plot hole.
Yeah, exactly. There is another plot hole here. Okay, so here's the thing. He calls up this woman, right?
I'm supposed to meet Lolana.
Why are we supposed to know who that is? It starts the video. I'm supposed to meet Lolana. Why is it implied that we know who that is?
Yeah, we
or
don't
who
know.
this
We don't know
is?
who she is. Yeah, or
The
him.
right street. I need to give her a call. Ah,
Where did you find this?
Who knows?
Oh shoot!
Hey Tom, are you close?
well, not exactly. I'm lost. The map is only in Chinese, and I'm totally confused. Isn't there some way to get directions in English?
I mean, here's the thing, though. He's supposed to meet her, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, where are you? You know, it implies that they're like on the same block or something, which,
Yeah.
by the way, they are, because look at the fence behind them.
yeah.
It's the exact same fence. They're
Yeah,
he's standing right next to each
He's
other.
supposedly over an hour.
But it's an
away.
hour and so
Yeah.
you're an hour
Nice
and
job, guys.
15 minutes away, and you're like, oh yeah, but I'm lost. Okay, so whatever plot hole. This is all contrived to try and pretend like there's a helpful way for
Yes.
tourists to find themselves around or whatever.
Yes.
No worries. In China, you can dial the 12345 hotline.
Really? Oh, okay. I'll give it a try.
Now, okay. Here's the thing. This 12345 hotline does exist in Beijing.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if it's in all the cities.
Yeah.
But let's say you do get through,
Yeah.
okay? And you do actually manage to get to an English-speaking person.
Yes.
Okay? Explain to me. All right, you're an English-speaking person,
Mm-hmm.
and you're standing on a random street in China.
Mm-hmm.
You can't read any Chinese characters, and you call me and you want directions.
Okay.
How's it going to work?
That doesn't make sense.
So I'm English and I'm on
Yeah.
the hotline. Okay, where are you?
I'm still gonna have to look at those signs.
Yeah, but like I'm asking you,
It's-
where are you?
I don't know. I can't read.
It's like, okay, can you try to explain to me what the character looks like?
It's like a man next to like a tree and a fish.
Okay,
I think
so
a tic-tac-toe board.
then yes. You see, this is just
This
impossible.
doesn't solve anything, right?
So, I mean, look, the whole point of this was actually for them to say, which I'm just going to fast forward to the part where, by the way, this is the hour 21 minutes later, is because he had to walk an hour and 20 minutes
through all the poverty and homelessness.
This is real footage I filmed myself,
this
by
is
the way,
China.
and that the audio is authentic from there.
Hi Tom.
Anyway, he gets here. But the whole point of this thing is not to say that this is to help foreigners.
No.
But to say
Nope.
that this hotline is not only what America has, but it's better. Did you see that?
This is why I think the whole billions of dollars push to get people to come to China has failed. Is they waste a lot of that stuff on this self-aggrandizing propaganda, which, by the way, this whole clip, if you watch the whole thing, we only parodied the beginning of it because
rest is just
of
propaganda.
It's literally propaganda about how China serves the people and CCP this and that. It has nothing to do with actually calling this number
It's
and
got
getting
nothing
around.
to do with helping
Five
tourists.
hotline is just
Take a
like
look
the
at this.
Chinese version of 311, but it offers
But it offers more support in various types of issues. So again, China's just trying to brag that they've got something that's better than America.
That it's got like a socialist communist thing you can use
It's
to
rubbish,
fix the
though.
road
Okay.
and all this stuff.
Okay. Here's my challenge. If you live in China right now, call the 12345 hotline. Don't speak any Chinese and try to get directions.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Let's prove that
Do it.
this doesn't work.
Do it. They'll mobilize like 100 people to do it right now.
Yes, exactly.
We'll
Exactly.
fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll help it out.
Anyway, let's get past the slapaganda. You guys get
Yeah,
get
we
it.
gotta get to the main segment here.
Okay.
soon. But yeah, just quickly, a great article down below that we've linked, very much in relation to this, is proving this exactly what we had presumed.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, thankfully, we were wrong that this huge push was going to trick people into going
It's
to China.
worse than before.
Yes. It's so bad to travel in China. In fact, my last video on Lao 86 is just about this. Going to China is a foolish idea right now. It says China's biggest ever bid for foreign tourists is falling flat. So all the money that they put into trying to get people, getting rid of visas, making sure people can go, it has not worked. Because China is set up to get everyone in the doors, like getting them to go over there, but it's not set up to get them to stay
No.
or make their experience positive.
No, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, honestly, billions have been spent. You've seen the videos
Yes.
popping up about
Yeah.
this amazing place to travel, etc. They didn't do that stuff before, and they had more people traveling to China.
Correct.
Anyway,
You are true.
time for Beyond the Great Firewall.
Yeah, this is a super quick one. Beyond the Great Firewalls, I take you inside the Chinese internet because it is an intranet that they don't want the rest of the world to see. And this time we have a guy that is in his town, and he goes, "What the heck?" He looks up,
Yeah.
And he sees, let's see how many. Let's play the clip.
Okay, yeah, let's see.
These cameras.
1个2个3个
1,
4
2,
个
3,
5
4,
个 6 个
5,
7个 8个
7,
9
8,
个
9,
10个
10,
11 12 13 14
11, 12, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27
有摄像头不是
She's
很
so
正常
pause
吗
up？ there.
I'll go back.
He freaks out. He's like, there are 27 surveillance cameras
Yeah.
on one cut. By the way, it's a country road.
Yeah, it's a country road. It's not
Country
even in the
road.
city.
No. And they're all different. They all
Yeah.
have different departments' use, right?
Yeah.
So he calls the government.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, traffic government. This is Communist Party, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Calls them and he goes, why it's up with all these cameras, right?
Yeah.
And the woman, the traffic police says, isn't it normal to have cameras?
摄像头不是很正常吗？因为有
Because
公
the
安的
police officers
有
need
交
them.
警的
Traffic
有
police
拍
need
摄
them. They'll need to
是
film
现
this
场的，这
location.
个很正常
This is
呀。
super normal, no? She actually tried to gaslight him into
Yeah.
thinking this is normal.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's normal, dude.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
freaking insane. You can just play this without audio, but look at that. That's one country road with what? One house next to it?
Yeah, it's a
one?
bit crazy. It really is crazy. Some of those are traffic counters, but the majority of them are cameras.
Yes.
And
she goes, well, all the departments need to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
That one's
Yeah.
so
it's
imagine
normal.
the cities. Imagine how many. What is it now? Like a camera for every citizen, basically.
It's more than one camera,
yeah,
I think.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Soft Power, guys. This is where we tell you how China's trying to change your mind.
This is the big one.
Through everything. And this is the January 6th thing that we started out with. So let's get this straight. I wanted to read this to everybody
Sure.
because this is the timeline, okay? It was a bit murky, but we managed to figure it out.
Yeah, it was a puzzle.
On January 2nd, a 17-year-old senior high school student died at the Vocational Education Center in Pootsmann County, Weinan City, Shanxi Province. The official report stated that the student fell from a high altitude and died, ruling out a criminal case. Okay?
Okay, that's usually what they do. I can attest to that.
Yes, exactly. At 3 a.m., so this is how it worked. On 3 a.m. on January 2nd, the school teacher called the family of the deceased and asked them to go to the school immediately. After arriving at the school, the family was prevented from seeing the body and was not told what happened. Okay, 3 a.m. So you get this call at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get here straight away.
Right.
You know? They get there and then they're like, you can't see the body. So they obviously told them that someone's dead, that their son is dead. They're like, you can't see the body.
Oh, remind me later. I have a spooky part of that.
Yeah.
When
And
I talked to the mom.
Yeah. And they weren't told what was happened, right? I mean, that's devastating.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what happened next in the timeline. At 7 a.m. on January 2nd, the school informed the family that the student had died. So they got there. They still didn't know what was going on.
No.
It was only at 7. So they got there at like 3 a.m. or whatever.
Right.
They were like, no, you can't see your son. We're not going to tell you what's happened.
Yeah.
At 7 a.m., they informed the family that the student had died. The family asked to view the surveillance video, but was told that the surveillance system was broken. The family was not allowed to take photos at the scene for evidence.
Okay.
Okay, so how often has this happened to you in China when something goes wrong, like something gets stolen, you know, you need the footage every single time. They just don't want the hassle and they're like, oh, it didn't work.
Every time.
Every time. It's every single time. Every single time something was stolen, like a
Not just us.
bicycle or whatever.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Any problem.
Yeah, you know, our friend's motorcycle was stolen. Remember that? Try to
Yeah.
get the footage. No, sorry.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Broken.
It's the easiest way to prevent hassle because they know they've got it on camera, but they don't want to have to produce it and do police reports or whatever. So they're like, no, it doesn't work. Right? Okay. So the parents are not allowed to take photos or anything on the scene. Okay. So on January 2nd, family members and some insiders revealed that the deceased had bruises on his neck, but no signs of injury on his head. And suspected that the cause of death was related to bullying. Some students reported that the dormitory had a power outage and their mobile phones were confiscated on the night of the incident. And the school subsequently asked students to delete related videos and chat records.
Yikes.
So they turned the power off in the dormitories.
Wow.
Because you got dormitory on campus there.
Yeah.
This incident happens. The school turns the power off and tells everyone to delete any videos and chat records of the incident.
That's not weird.
No, that's a cover up.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is pretty early on, right? This
Yeah.
is the first day.
This is on the first day. Because obviously people were talking about it,
yeah,
right?
that makes sense.
So they're like, no, we can't have that. Since January 4, the family of the deceased and the public started to gather at the school gate to protest, demanding a reasonable explanation from the school and the government. The number of protesters gradually increased.
So basically what happened is this kid died, they tried to cover it up, and 2 days later, people start showing up at the gate.
Yes.
And they're protesting, but it's only a few people.
Well, yeah, it keeps gaining
But
strength,
it's like
strength on
snowballs,
strength.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So then what happened next is late in the evening of January 5th, the authorities released a joint investigation team report stating that the deceased died from falling from a high altitude and no criminal case was involved. The report did not mention key issues raised by the family, such as the damaged surveillance system, the students' injuries, and the school's behavior. On the morning of January 6th, protests escalated. Now, something that I should mention is on the evening of January the 5th, they arrested the uncle of the deceased.
Yeah.
Because he was part of the
He was part
protest.
of the group,
Yeah,
right?
it's part of the group, and they were like, "You're causing this," so they arrested him, which made
Remember,
it even worse.
In China, you're not allowed to protest.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
illegal.
On the morning of January 6th, the protests escalated with tens of thousands of people gathering to demand the truth, and the police cracked down.
So that happened by
yeah.
January 6th. You had a few people turn into basically tens of thousands.
Yeah,
of
up
people.
to 100,000 people were there. It's insane, right? The police cracked down. Video footage from the scene showed that some students and citizens were treated violently, a female student being beaten to a bloody head and a male student's face covered in blood. Citizens accused the police of behaving like gangsters.
This is China.
We're going to show this to you.
You guys always whine. Never mind. I won't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into
yeah.
that. We'll talk about that
So
later.
during the night of January 5th, the uncle of the deceased was arrested. I've already mentioned that. I just needed to put it in. So this is the night, and they're saying like, "Release him." That's what they're shouting.
Or it means release the person.
Yeah.
Who obviously captured it. So just from one potential murder here, we
Yeah.
have tens of thousands, up to 100,000 people.
Yeah. So now the next day, on January the 6th, you've got people gathering around, and they're demanding answers at this point.
Yeah.
They're not trying to do anything else. They just want an explanation.
And I do want to say this.
Yeah.
This is a symptom of the unrest and that's fomenting just beneath the surface in China right now. The economy is in shambles. People are not allowed to say or do anything because I live in an authoritarian dictatorship that is not delivering on the promise of them being able to earn money.
Yeah.
And they're covering up bad things that are happening all the time, and they've had enough.
Yeah, that's right. Let's take a look.
Like the people up on the roof. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy.
Wow, that got massive.
Yeah. So I've got another thing that's going to pop up over here. So the core questions. Why was the surveillance system broken? Because we all know it wasn't. We're
Yes.
going to find out in a minute. It actually wasn't. Was the surveillance footage during the critical time period of the incident rarely damaged? Why was it not repaired or provided with relevant evidence in a timely manner? The deceased's injuries were inconsistent with the cause of death. The deceased had no head injuries but bruises on his neck. Why was the report determining that he died from falling from a high altitude?
I want to throw in one thing here that
What's
I heard. This is rumor, but it could be true.
Yeah.
Apparently, the body was cremated before the family could really dive into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't know about that, but yeah, that would make sense to
That's
me.
what I was hearing.
Yeah. Was the school's handling of the matter appropriate? Why were the family members prevented from seeing the body and taking photos? Why were the students required to delete the videos and chat records? Rumors online about the officials' background say that the parents of the student involved are local officials. There's a possibility that they interfered with the investigation. Why are social voices suppressed? Because, of course, this was deleted, right? Why are posts deleted and information blocked? Are the authorities suppressing public opinion and covering up the truth?
So this is the crazy part: is that people are suspecting the kid. There's potentially the kid
it's
that
bullying.
murdered the other kid.
Yeah.
Is actually a CCP
Member's
member's son.
Yeah, which happens.
It happens all the time.
Okay, so now what's happening is... Yeah, sorry. You can see the amount of police cars, buses, or vans turning up in the background,
Yeah.
okay? Because now the gathering gets bigger and bigger as people start, talking about this. You see they deployed hundreds of police officers, by the way.
Right.
Or what do they call them? Stability management
Yes.
personnel?
Yes.
Is that the right word?
Yep.
As you can see, they're all rolling in there. A lot of them. And of course, there's a lot of tensions. People want to get in. They're like, look, we still don't have our answers. We need our answers. Why is nobody telling us what's going on? And of course, the fact that Communist Party officials and corruption is involved has fueled this even more. People are
you know, it's funny. Apparently, the school party office, the party officials of the school, were actually shocked that people didn't just take their excuse verbatim.
Yeah,
they didn't think they were going to ask any questions.
Yeah, when they said, "Oh, you fell from a height."
Yeah, they were like shocked. They didn't understand.
Yes,
because you're not allowed to question authority, right?
Yes, exactly. So you got all these people, all this tension. They want to get in. And then things kind of started to kick off, which you'll see in a minute here. Just wanted to show you the scope of the people. Look how many people there are there. It's just incredible. There's a drone up in the air. I wonder where that drone footage is. That's probably the government, actually.
Yeah, for sure. That would be the government.
Yeah, the government seeing should we send in the tanks?
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Tank time.
Yeah, tank time.
Or,
Yeah, maybe not.
Should we pull it in 1989?
Yeah, exactly. And then they were like, okay, fine, we're going to bust in because nobody was listening to them. So they broke through the gates.
They gave the people nothing.
Yeah.
No explanation.
Nope. So, they broke through the gates, as you can see here. And that's when the police started to do what Chinese police do a lot, which is, you'll see in a minute.
Let me just say, people talk about police brutality in the U.S. You ain't got nothing on China.
No.
You ain't got nothing.
No, not at all.
Nobody talks about that, though.
Exactly. Yep. Oh, yeah. Before it all kicked off, after they broke into the gates, some of the students rushed into the school and found the surveillance system.
Yes. Because they kept saying it was broken.
Yeah.
So the student says, it's broken, huh? It's broken, huh?
Because it works perfectly fine. So the students who rushed into the teaching building found that the surveillance camera was not broken, the surveillance system.
Yeah.
The school had previously refused to provide the surveillance video of the incident on the grounds that the surveillance camera was broken. But it's not broken. So they found, you can see the date up there, it's the 6th on the screen, and the cameras are working fine.
Yes.
They obviously deleted the footage.
Yes.
That's all. So it was working fine. So then now they find out that it's been working fine. That adds more fuel to the fire.
Then that gets out to the people.
Yep. And so the police start doing what they do. They start grabbing people, singling out people, dragging them off. Okay.
Disappearing them. Some of them get beaten.
Oh, some people got beaten pretty badly.
Yeah, we don't even want to say.
Yeah, exactly. And
because you can tell.
Yeah, we actually had to censor the footage. There's a lot of stuff we can't show because YouTube won't allow us to show. The blood. Stuff.
Not that that's necessary anyway.
No, we don't. You know that's why this is in black and white because obviously she's covered in blood. We can't show that on YouTube, and so we're not going to. But you can get the idea of what's going on here because they were, for instance, you can see the cops in the background have grabbed someone and they're doing a.
It's like 12 on 1.
Yeah.
It's like 20 on 1.
Yeah. Again, police brutality in China is hardly ever called out. People always go like, "What about George Floyd or something?"
All that stuff. Yeah.
It's like, no, this is
in China.
Yeah, this
has
is
nothing
China.
to do with that, and this happens every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the guy who managed to escape. Well, actually, he got rescued by the people because he was being beaten. He'd been handcuffed, and some of the other crowd pulled him
got
out.
Him back, yeah.
Yeah, so.
But with him.
I like that he has "Be Yourself" written on the back.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So look, there was a lot of this stuff going on. Okay, people being beaten up, and then the crowd kind of had enough, and they were like, "Okay, it's time for us to fight back."
We're gonna rise up, yeah. Chilai.
Yeah.
These are your average Chinese citizens.
Yeah.
One little thing can set this all off. That's how tense China is right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Tense.
Here they go.
We didn't add this song.
No.
This is their own protest theme. Like epic, happy, hardcore, like techno. Rise up to the sounds of the DJ.
So, I mean...
They overcame the police.
You could see they're pushing back. They were like, that's enough. they started smashing windows. They were using fire extinguishers to, I guess, attack the police. As you can see, hurling all sorts of projectiles at them.
Yeah.
It was,
100,000 people strong, apparently.
And they got some beat downs on the cops too, in retaliation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
More so than the other way around, I think.
Maybe.
Just
maybe.
from the footage,
yeah.
at least.
So, it really got out of hand, as you can see here. Apparently, they put someone in the ambulance that they'd arrested.
Oh,
so.
they were using that as a way to,
they'd
take
arrest
people,
yeah.
black bag people.
Yeah, exactly.
China does. They like to black bag people and whisk them off, like the protest leaders and stuff. They'll whisk them away.
Yeah.
You'll never see him.
Maybe it's Bugle Boy in there.
You think Bugle Boy's definitely it? His life's over.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing is when you see protests in America or whatever, you're not looking at those people saying their life is over.
Yeah.
You're looking at all these people that were like key leaders of this or whatever. Their life's over.
Yeah.
That was their moment.
So this got huge and it got so out of hand. Of course, the Chinese government suppressed the news about this.
Oh, yeah.
Could not post. These videos that you're seeing now cannot be seen in China.
No.
And they were not seen in China.
And they blanked out even the word Pucheng, the name of the city.
The city, you could not even search the name of the
Chinese
city.
internet.
That's how bad it got.
Yeah.
And they do this a lot, right? So complete media silence, complete blackout on everything. Nobody could know anything. And then they deployed literally thousands of police officers.
Yeah.
And they blocked intersections leading into the city.
Yes. Yes.
You
That's a
couldn't
good
even
point.
get in there.
No, that's a good point.
Right?
They blocked the whole city off.
Can you see the traffic backed up all the way down there?
Because you couldn't get in.
Yeah, they actually blocked. And so that happened on the night of January the 6th. And this is the night of January the 6th. They blocked traffic. They blocked intersections. People just had to sit in a car or whatever, You
And then
couldn't
not
get
even
in.
trying to participate, by the way.
No,
just
just
like
you
what?
cannot-
Because they didn't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's funny. Nobody in China knows what about this.
No, so they're just like, oh, what? We just got to sleep in our car now? What's going on?
Isn't that interesting though? Is that viewers? I'm talking to you, by the way. Give this a thumbs up. Helps out. If you're watching this, like a major event with 100,000 protesters, and people in China don't even know about it.
Dude,
Isn't that crazy?
I was speaking to a subscriber who was feeding me live information.
Yeah.
Because his wife is currently in China.
In Pucheng?
No, she's.
Oh, okay.
But she's very nearby.
Yeah.
And she didn't know about it.
She had no clue.
She had no clue.
You are
So-
privileged, as an outsider, when you're looking at stuff about China, because the insiders can't see anything.
No, but people were commenting on Weibo when this stuff first came out, but it was immediately deleted. I still have screenshots.
Sure.
I didn't want to share them because it's got his
of course,
his
of
Weibo
course.
ID and stuff in there, so I didn't want to get him into any trouble.
of course.
But the fact of the matter is, as this was unfolding, people in China had no idea. Okay, and this was the next day on the 7th. They still had all the intersections blocked off. You could not go anywhere near that educational area. They blocked off the entire. This is the next day, as you can see.
Sanitized.
And that's how the Chinese government does it, is they block it all off. They shut everything down.
Get the
Nobody,
troops in there.
Nobody can talk. Yeah, they bring in thousands of police,
Soldiers.
riot police and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then it's done. It's swept under the rug.
Yeah.
And you won't hear about it ever again.
The takeaway is interesting though, because although they can deal with, for example, we talked about this earlier, they got away with COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Right? COVID is unleashed on the world, killed 10 million people, and they get away with it, and almost no one blames them for it anymore, right?
Yeah.
The cover up. They got away with the Hong Kong protests.
Oh, yeah,
They
the
shut
whole-
down the entire place.
Yeah.
Right? And then they dealt with all the people that organized it. Right?
Yeah.
They deal with this. They sweep it up. They get rid of everyone, black bag people, get
Yeah.
rid of the leaders, and then sweep it all up, block it off, sanitize the situation, right?
Yeah.
To get away with that. But the thing is that I think is interesting, that the other takeaway is that this is happening so often now, these
Yeah.
kind of events. It shows you how much unrest there is right under the surface.
Yes. It's ready to go.
It's a powder keg.
And I mean, look, the way they're dealing with it is the only way they can, because
Yeah.
if it were to spread, if people could share this,
Yeah.
this would erupt around the entire country
Be a
all at
revolution.
once,
It
and they
would
would
be a
not. They
revolution.
would not be able to control it.
You're right.
That's why they have to be so controlling over every single bit of information in China, because if they weren't, they would lose their power.
Yes.
They
100%.
would.
You're absolutely right. You are true.
Anyway, now you know what happened with January 6th in China.
It was on January 6th.
Yeah, and it was crazy. Yeah.
All right.
Worldview time, guys. This is where we look at everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. But first, we have a little something to show you because this is what you missed on Monday. Let's get us out of there.
Watch the results.
Riders, but once was their land. The untamed food of going munching.
Just from like tiny different angles.
Yeah, grab me, junk. He's like, oh no, he's gonna get me. We have probably the worst vote clip we've ever had. I think
the worst.
I think this is the one that's turned my stomach the most. I don't.
It's soft like cheese.
Don't.
就是普通老百姓，我不是政府的，也要
I don't know, man. Yeah, okay. So if you're curious as to what that was all about,
Yes.
what was it all about?
So every Monday we have a show called Xiaoban Ho. It's our patron only show.
Yes.
You're gonna want to
VIP
if you like the China show, you're gonna love that, right? We've actually upped the quality. We now cover like serious big topics. Of course, with lots of fun stuff in between.
Yeah.
And there's this thing going on in China right now.
Yeah.
Where China and Russia have this partnership to fund Russia's war in Ukraine. But they can't because like of the sanctions,
officially, yeah.
So what they've done is they've set up Russian shops all over China.
Russian goods shops, yes.
To fund Russia.
And there's like there's a loophole where they can earn more US dollars doing it.
If you're interested,
weird.
I'll put this out there. If you're interested in like, even if you're important or not, you're gonna want to see this particular episode. Like if you're interested in how China is helping Russia circumvent sanctions.
Yeah, but it's funny because the people are now taking advantage of it and selling counterfeit goods because they see, all these Russian shops are being opened.
Yes,
I can copy that and make money.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting is on the Chinese internet, I was able to find the explanation of how these loopholes work. And I feel like they shouldn't have put that information out there so blatantly, but some Chinese people explained it and I translated it. Also, a lot of these people's reactions.
Yeah, because actual Russian people in China are going to these shops and they're like, I've never seen this before.
Yes.
All the writing is wrong. This is fake.
Yes.
You know, and they're calling their friends up in Russia and being like, have you ever seen this before? They're like, no.
Would you be surprised that a dictatorship is corrupt and it turns and unravels into nonsense?
It's a fun episode, though.
It's a great one.
Great, yeah.
So go to patreon.com/ADVpodcasts. Join us. The sale's still going.
Yeah.
I'll be fully transparent. We're still getting sign-ups, so we left the sale up for a little while.
Yeah.
It's half price right now.
Yeah.
If you want to join, go to patreon.com/ADVpodcast. Join us at the Ho 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 sale tier or at the Xiaoban Ho tier if you want to see it live.
Yeah.
The non-live tier, the people at half price, they get it right after it goes live.
Yep.
You'll also get access to the backlog of all the other
everything.
episodes we've done.
Yeah.
We've done hilarious stuff. We have a very funny one coming up. Maybe give him a little teaser.
Which one?
A little, maybe take the pills or you can
Oh,
just working
yes,
out.
of course, yes.
I just
Remember
get
this?
cold.
Just working out.
Jeff, take the pills, Jeff.
We've uncovered many more
Yeah, more.
of these advertisements.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's
From
all
China's
about
biggest COVID
Lianhua
medicine.
Qingwen.
Yes. And they are freaking hilarious.
Yep.
So you're going to want to join. It's the best way to support us as well.
Yeah,
So thank you.
definitely.
And we'll see you there.
Yes, now let's continue on to Worldview.
Okay.
We will talk
Worldview.
about it. I just already said this.
We
put
did.
this in twice.
On her
right
Oh,
now.
that's okay. Better
Okay.
twice than not.
Yes. All right. Now, this is very important. I'm going to play a little clip out of the Australian 9 News segment over here. Take a look, everyone.
Birthday, Daniela received her perfect present.
It was glow in the dark, unicorn purple, everything she wanted.
Gifted to her by her grandmother, who bought it from Chinese online shopping giant Temu, which stocks products from thousands of retailers. She wore it religiously. That was until it caught alight.
You might as well just throw an accelerant on her and lit her on fire. That's how it looked.
A spark from a backyard fire pit landed on the fabric, igniting it.
It was just melting, just screaming. And you can see that the product itself actually melted like plastic, like a plastic bag. Everyone, all the adults were in quite distressed because they had seen her skin falling off her.
Daniela received burns to 13% of her body. Doctors say she's facing potentially 10 more years of surgery.
The ACCC finding they weren't up to Australian standards and didn't have a fire warning label.
Okay, I want to stop it here. Okay. This is the danger of using things like Temu. All
or
right?
Shein or any of
these
Taobao
direct
or-
drop shipping
Yeah.
type things from China, because there's no quality control. All right, we lived in China. We dealt with China. We used to have a motorcycle, custom motorcycle shop in China. We know how it works because we'd order parts, and they would be like, "Yeah, come with a certificate and everything." But
Yeah.
they would say,
Yeah.
"Do you want a certificate? We'll charge you extra for
Yeah.
it." And then like, "What do you want us to make the certificate say?"
Yeah.
Remember when we used to get those things that are like, what was the emission controls?
Yeah.
Do you remember the emission
Yeah.
controls? And it was literally a fake little plastic mold that had blocked off on both sides.
Yeah.
And it was on like a fake pipe that
But
went
it passed
into
Euro emissions.
And it was a fake pipe going to a metal blocked off pipe. There was no pipe.
No.
It just plugged in so it looked like it was there. And
Open,
they're like,
open exhaust.
yeah, they're like, then it says like Euro 2 compliant or whatever it
3.
is,
Yeah.
Euro 3. But there was no emission controls on the bike. It was fake. It was just so you could see it.
But those are being exported.
Yeah. So now the thing is, companies like Temu, they say that they require all of their sellers to provide like a document of authenticity or whatever, or like a standards, it's passed or whatever standards. But you can buy these documents in China. I mean, I used to go into Huajianbei and you can buy the CE stickers, you can buy whatever stickers you want to say that your device meets whatever FCC standards or whatever.
You can get a helmet and it has the dot sticker.
Yes, it's got the dot sticker on it, but if you like hit it, it cracks.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're saying is we know that it's a bunch of BS, okay? You have no quality control in China from these cheap factories that are selling you like a $2 thing.
Dangerous ass products.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you're buying, because the way these companies work is they bypass customs inspection. They bypass any kind of quality control because of that de minimis thing, where if it's under $600 in a shipment or whatever, it just can come straight into America without being checked, right?
Or anywhere.
Yeah, any other place like in Australia or whatever. They have their loopholes. So it comes directly to you without passing through any kind of quality control.
Yeah.
So you've got a factory in China, because all of these factories, these suppliers, literally like a backyard, could be a backyard thing where there's a pigsty and someone's throwing something together and sending it, right?
Oh, we used to see the clandestine factories.
Yes.
They're little shacks.
Yeah,
inside
clandestine factories. You get big ones too.
Yeah.
But they're going to cut every cost possible because they're not making any money out of this, right? Like you're buying this hoodie probably costs like $5 or something on Temu because it's all this like free 99 crap.
Yeah.
So of course they're going to use banned chemicals, or they're going to use stuff that's not up to standards. And of course, when the ACCC, which I don't know, what is that,
Some Australian thing,
certified... I was going to say a bad word. I'm not going to say it.
Don't say that.
I know Australians like to say it a lot. But you know what I'm saying? The ACCC people are going to take a look at this, and they said, oh, it doesn't meet mandatory standards.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
And there's no warning label. This is the thing, guys. This is what you've got to pay attention to.
How can they have these products that burn children?
Temu. Shop like a billionaire. But do billionaires shop at retailers who actively sell their banking information to thieves? Sell them electronics that burn down their houses? Or cosmetics so toxic that it sends them to the ICU?
And, this lady received this stress ball she ordered from Temu. She got it, and there was like this white powder substance on the outside. Turns out that white powder was like an anthrax type substance. It made her really sick, and she went to the hospital, was in the ICU.
In Channel 4's The Truth.
So what I'm trying to say here is you're taking a massive risk.
Yeah.
With your family's health, with your safety, when you're buying these things.
To do what?
Yeah, for what?
I don't want to get on a pedestal about like saving the world or anything too, but you're contributing to the downfall of the earth.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's all the waste, you know.
Temu was responsible for 10% of the global emissions.
Yeah, carbon
something
emissions.
like that.
And that's insane. That's not even the energy used to make the products. It's like shipping by plane. And stuff. All the carbon.
And the landfill.
The landfill stuff. Oh, I mean, it's bad because let's be honest. When you're buying like a $2 gadget off Temu, it's gonna last a week.
Or something.
Yeah, exactly. It'll last a week, and you're gonna throw it away because it'll break, right?
For sure.
Or you're not gonna use
About
it. It's gonna
Temu.
get tossed.
Investigative reporter Ellie Flynn bought 3 different items from Temu.
By the way, this video that we're showing you clips from over here, Temu is poisoning you, hoping you don't notice, is in the description. Absolutely must watch.
As well as another one. I linked another one below it. It's a fantastic
Must
video.
watch. But we wanted to show you these highlights just to drive this home.
A silver effect necklace for 2.17 pounds, a gold effect chain for 2.97 pounds, and a children's jacket for 11.09 pounds. She then took these steels to a toxicology lab at the University of Reading, where Professor Lawrence Harwood tested them for toxic chemicals. As for the results, well, Professor Harwood was shocked.
How concerned are you by these results?
Well, I'm very concerned. These are not adhering to any guidelines for the level of toxic heavy metals.
The silver necklace she bought had more than 10 times what the UK legally allows for lead, a chemical that Professor Harwood pointed out, even in small quantities, can lead to major health complications.
Reduced sperm count, miscarriage, stillbirth.
Similarly, the gold chain had 27 times more cadmium, a metal that's been linked to bone degradation and kidney failure, than what the UK allows. Even the children's jacket the reporter bought had toxic chemicals in seriously high concentrations.
Yeah, so look, there's been a number of cases where people have bought things, like a woman who bought a cheap tablet and it burned her house down. Okay, this particular one, a girl bought a little parents bought a manicure kit for kids, you know? So it's got like a glue to put the nails on.
Yeah.
She spilled some glue on her hand and it like melted her skin. She had to get skin grafts. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, guys, this is a PSA. And because this happened last week with the girl's hoodie catching fire, it's just in the zeitgeist again. Wanted to warn everybody that there is a cost. There are many costs to dealing with this loophole, under-the-table garbage like Temu.
Yeah.
Okay? But the cost is you're putting your family at risk.
Yeah.
I mean, how many like little toys and things have you bought and your kid's cuddling it at night and something and it has a toxic chemical? You don't know.
Yeah. I don't want to get a soapbox about like why people are devolving into buying all this cheap crap.
Yeah.
Because is one thing about like saying the economy is struggling, so I'm buying cheaper things. That's like eggs and milk. And
Yes,
bread.
no, exactly.
This is not stuff you need.
You don't need a little glow-in-the-dark gadget nonsense.
No.
I mean, if you want that, buy a nice one. Go to a shop. Go to a place you can trust. Don't trust China with your family's health.
No.
How many times have we had this in the past where the dog food from China actually killed pets, where that like rock sheet, the wall was toxic and it had to be taken down? The fact that they put
Poison
out
dog food.
Yes, the poison dog food. The fact that they did things like fake vaccines in China, and the milk powder, the infant formula that killed infants.
Never mind all of the clothing scandals in China that burden people all the time there.
Yeah,
those are being exported now. So I had an analogy. I just want to cap this off.
Sure.
I was talking to you about this earlier. You know the chaos we show in the beginning of the show all the time?
Yeah.
Because China especially has so much crazy stuff happening that gets buried or deleted or censored, right, by the Chinese government. All of that chaos, the buildings falling down, the tofu dregs, the clothes catching on fire, the factory explosions, all of the toxic gas spills, the cancer villages, all those things that we show all the time, that's being exported to your country.
Yeah.
Through things like Temu, through things like Shein. They're basically exporting all of those horrible, horrific disasters and all those terrible things that happen to people, as dangerous things that happen to people, and then exporting them to your country.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be sensationalist. It's actually what's happening.
It is what's happening.
And you're seeing symptoms of it now.
Yeah. So just remember, just because you can buy it online and it can arrive, be shipped to your door, doesn't mean that you should.
Yeah.
Because it's not being quality controlled. And don't ever trust a Chinese company with quality control.
No.
You cannot.
No.
We know from our own experience, having lived there for so long and, really getting to see how it works.
Chinese people don't trust the
They
Chinese
don't.
companies.
Pinduoduo?
They always buy foreign things for a reason.
For a reason. That's why Jinko, imported stuff in China, is sought after and expensive, because you're right. Chinese people don't trust this stuff. So why should you?
Why would you?
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway. Enough of that ranting and raving. You guys get the picture, I hope. This is another thing that's kind of a funny... I don't know if it's funny or tragic.
Yeah.
There's this game, free-to-play game that everyone's playing now.
Oh, it's free?
Yeah, it's free to play. It's called Marvel Rivals. Okay? So let's take a look what happens if you type in the chat, I hate China. Let's see. Text contains inappropriate content. Okay. What if you type, I hate America? Oh, that's fine. You know what I mean? What's going on here, guys? Marvel? Dude, I'm pretty sure Captain America is a Marvel character.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
That's very that's very sad, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't Tencent own this company?
NetEase.
NetEase, sorry. NetEase Games, yeah.
Yeah.
Tencent was labeled as a Chinese military link company, by the way, by the U.S.
Yeah, it was.
They're really scrambling right now.
They certainly
Stock
are.
prices are in the toilet.
Let's see if you type Winnie the Pooh. Oh, no, text contains...
You can't type Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, you can't type that. Pooh. Nope. You can't do that. What else? What can you type? Xi Jinping?
Spell it wrong.
Nope. No, it's spelled right. Well, you put it in different. Free Taiwan? No, not allowed to type that. What else we got you? Taiwan is okay.
Oh.
1989? Nope. Nothing happened on 1989. In 1989. That was okay. Nothing happens fine. 1989? No, but you just can't put the year. So we actually got one of our very active members, Doc Slothington.
Oh, gee, Doc Slothington, one of the best dudes we have here. He wrote, I hate America.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem. Then he wrote,
Free Taiwan. Text contains inappropriate
So we
content.
independently verified this, just in case it was just a...
Yeah, we were just making sure that wasn't just something made up, right? He says, Mao Zedong was wrong. Text... I like the other people, like, I can heal. And he's like, Mao Zedong was wrong.
You can imagine it's like this hectic game now.
Yeah.
I can heal. Come here. I can heal. It's like, Mao Zedong was wrong.
But then he can't even put it in there, right?
Yeah,
So-
He should be able to.
Yeah.
This is Marvel, right?
Yeah,
it's an
take a look.
American IP.
I hate Xi Jinping. Text contains inappropriate content.
Yes, and he spelled it right there. Before it spelled wrong, both were blocked.
Well, like Xi and Jing and Ping, like if you put it together.
Jing was spelled wrong.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It was J-I-N-G. He docked it right. Yeah.
Okay. I hate Donald Trump. That's fine. And people are telling him, shut up.
But no one could tell him to shut up and defend Xi Jinping's honor because he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, so can you guys see how crazy this is?
Yeah.
Marvel
Yeah.
is the most American thing you can think of. Spider-Man and all those mans.
Yes, all
you know?
those mans.
Yeah, those mans, you know?
Those mans.
Yeah, those Iron Mans.
Now, not a huge Marvel fan, but it is an American IP.
Those Ant-Mans.
Ant-Man. There's too many mans.
There are lots of mans.
Sea-mans.
Yeah. There's like, yeah, whatever. I think that's Aquaman.
Oh, Aquaman. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Anyway, guys,
someone calls
the
it
man, the Man Club. Okay, the Marvel Man Club is the most American thing I can think of.
It is.
If you want to say America, it's
that's
literally
American
got
stuff,
Captain America in it. But
yeah,
it's in the Marvel game. You can say I hate America and it's okay, but you can't say I hate China.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
So a Chinese company owns it, right? NetEase?
NetEase, yeah.
At least part of it, right?
Yeah, something along those lines. So, guys, here's the part you don't see. When China's involved in anything, censorship is involved.
Yes.
Okay?
100%.
And also, like, channeling your worldview.
Yeah.
And changing the way you think about things and inserting propaganda.
You are absolutely true.
I mean, how the hell... Like, imagine you could never have a conversation in the chat...
No.
that says anything negative about China.
No.
But you can have whatever conversation you want that's negative about America.
Apparently.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah. So think about it. It's also a good way for you to spread dissent. All
What
these
a
young,
surprise.
all these kids playing around, and you're like, oh, America sucks. Imagine there's something does happen, and there's a conflict or whatever. You can go in there and talk crap about America and sow dissent and get people riled up.
That's a drop in the bucket, but think
Yeah.
about everything else that uses the same principle,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then imagine you're like, oh no, China is attacking, and you try to say that. It'll be like, sorry, inappropriate content.
Correct.
Oh no, a Chinese paratrooper just landed outside my school.
Correct.
Red Dawn, press enter. Sorry, you can't say
Correct.
that.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just saying, guys, you got to watch it. I love that. I mean, that's right. And if you said, I hate Xi Jinping, somebody could say, shut up, but you can't even say that. Like you
Can't
said.
even do it.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
It is time.
It is time for Q&A. But you know what that means? Oh, sorry, what was this? This one was allowed. The Xinjiang
just
genocide,
to be fair,
is real. Yeah.
It's interesting that was allowed.
They probably messed up somehow. Like, maybe if you just say Xinjiang genocide, it'll be like...
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we want to be fair.
Yeah.
Right.
That was allowed.
That was allowed. Anyway, it's time for Yumcha, guys. You know what that means. It's time to eat this experimental...
On. I'd rather eat dim sum. Like in Yumcha.
Yeah, exactly. It's our Q&A section where we answer your questions and question your answers. But before we do, we got to eat one of these.
So let's explain this real quick. Winston acquired this from Sweden.
Yes,
or
from a very good friend, a very good friend of the show.
And what happened is I was originally in Finland. I tried something called salmiakki. It's a salty licorice. It made me want to die. He then acquired some that we ate on Xiaoban Ho on our supplemental show on patreon.com/ADV podcast. And then it was upgraded. Apparently, this is the strongest salmiakki in the world. So the saltiest, the strongest licorice, and it's apparently very bad.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you told me how bad it was initially. You were like, oh, that stuff's terrible.
It's bad.
Okay, and then we got that stuff previously, and I was like, this isn't bad at all. So I'm like, when I got this, I'm like, oh, maybe sea milk was right, but I also think this is probably worse than the one that you had.
Because, I've had one in Finland that you have not had yet.
Yes.
And that changed my life.
Yeah, you're saying that one was bad.
It was bad.
I feel like this is worse.
Okay. So it looks like it's white, and that would be ammonia salts.
Well, here's the thing. Like,
it says that.
So what is the rule here? We're going to throw a whole one in or just bite half off?
I think we can bite half.
You want to buy half?
It's very big. They're very large.
Yeah, okay. All right. But it's got to be half, no less.
And we have to eat the whole thing? I mean, we have to swallow
Yes. You have to chew it and swallow it.
This is going to be nasty.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this.
Nasty.
Here's yours. Okay. Here's mine.
Oh, let's smell the jar first.
Okay. It's pretty strong. Okay, guys.
It smells like poop and dog food.
Do you have some water handy?
I have mine.
Okay, yeah, no, so do I. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
This is a historical moment over here on the China Show. We're going to eat the world's strongest salmiakki.
I hate that this is pure white from ammonia salts, like a chemistry experiment.
Yeah, you know that whole like pound of flesh thing? It can't be less. It has to be more.
What do you mean?
I mean, it has to be exactly half or more.
Well, I'll break it in half first.
Okay.
Just to be fair.
And you just pop it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the smaller half. There we go. I'm taking the bigger half too. Ready?
Whatever.
Yeah, let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
Oh! Oh! That's not edible.
You've got to chew it.
Oh! Holy!
Was I right?
I could not have predicted it to be that bad. I was actually not that worried.
Yeah. I thought so.
Holy! Wow! I legitimately didn't think it was going to be that bad.
You know when I say something's bad, I'm being real, right? Because I downplay stuff a lot.
Oh!
That's so bad.
I know, I usually get pissed off that you always downplay stuff. That's effing terrible.
That's why I said it.
Holy Is that a prank thing?
I don't know if anyone actually eats this for fun, but
that's gotta make you ill,
dude. I mean, it'll churn you. Luckily we had lunch, because I think if you ate that on an empty stomach, you'd be like, your stomach would acid itself to death.
Oh my! I can say this.
Yeah.
It is like when you go into, when you go to like a public venue, like a concert or something, and everyone's been pissing. Everyone's been pissing in the urinal over and over again. So the whole thing smells like urinal cakes, right? Because they're trying to put urinal cakes in there to quench the
It's kind of like if you ate the urinal cake.
It's if you ate the urinal cake, but first you cured it for weeks in salt. Yeah. That is the saltiest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
It's rough, right?
Yeah, it's like
rough.
It's poison.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
And then when you finally get past that salt, that quite literally takes your breath away.
Yes.
It then tastes like dog food.
Yeah.
It's like dog food with piss and salt and ammonia.
Yep.
You did not
No.
I legitimately thought I was going to be like, oh, it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's, to this day, one of the worst things I've ever eaten in my life. And I've eaten giant centipedes.
Yes.
I've eaten cow eyes. We've eaten rats.
Yes.
I'm let me think of some other.
This is worse than the rat.
We ate cow vomit.
Yes. This is worse.
This is much worse.
Yeah, it's worse. Yeah.
This is the worst thing I've ever eaten.
Yeah, I told you, right?
Yes, it's worse than the one in Finland.
Yeah, I thought so.
It hurts. It hurts.
That's
like Ghost Reaper and all those.
Yeah, it's like, no, you got to have this.
That's lame.
Yeah, exactly. This. Yeah. So,
that's a new challenge.
That's why that other half is still there from the one I ate the other night. Because I'd, had a couple beers and I got home. I'm like, oh, it arrived in the post. Let me try it. And I was like, I'll leave that other half.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was a shock.
Oh my! Yes, I have eaten dog food on a dare. Everyone, when you're a kid, you dare each other to eat dog food and stuff. You know?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you have, but
No.
Oh, okay.
I once ate like cat snacks or something.
There you go. I
Because
haven't
you
had the
know
cat version,
when it, like back in the 90s, they decided they were going to make this. It's pretty bad, right?
yeah.
They used to make these like cat treats with in the shape of little fish. And they're like all colored. I don't know if you got this colorful, like green and red.
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
You know, brown and stuff.
Like Meow Mix or
Yeah, whatever. But like that was not really a thing until in the 90s, where they're like,
Yeah.
we're going to make it fancy food
Yeah.
for kittens. So it looked like a bag of like crisps or goldfish or something. You know what I'm saying? And it was in the like near the snack cupboard. So I'm like, okay, and I opened it up and I grabbed a handful and ate it. It's like, what is
Did
this?
you swallow it?
Yeah, I like chewed on it. You know, it's like all in your
Yeah.
mouth. Reflex swallow a bit. You know.
I feel like cat food would be worse than dog food.
It's so gross and dry and fishy and
Yeah, fish
just
meal and
rubbish.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it was just
Ugh.
rubbish. Don't eat it.
That is worse than dog food. Probably cat food too.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Mhm.
That was life changing. That was one of the most disgusting things I've ever eaten in my life.
I thought so, yeah. Yeah, that's quite crazy. Because I loved that other salmiakki we had last time.
well,
I
you
actually
love it. You tolerate.
Yeah, but you know, like when you acquire a taste for something and then
Sure.
you just like chew on it like a snack.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'd eat it all day, no problem.
Oh, I hate it.
But this is different.
This is life changing.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend I like this one.
It hurts. It actually burned my tongue.
Yeah.
My tongue has like burn marks on
Yeah,
it.
it's interesting, eh?
It's not like I'm gonna die, but it's like freaking horrible.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like there's quite a taste going on.
Don't ever eat this.
Well, I mean,
actually,
it says-
No, I think this should become the new YouTube Dare food. I'm not
It
even
should.
joking.
Yeah, it should. It says avoid making sense since 2014.
It doesn't make sense. It's piss cake.
Yeah, avoid making sense.
Yes.
It's exactly
You just sold urinal cakes in the form of poop logs.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyway, let's get to the questions. Oh, by the way, it's time to loosen the tie. It's Friday after all, guys. Woof. If you're not watching live, if you're not watching on the weekend, we bid you adieu. Stay awesome, and we'll see you next week. But for the rest of us, let's get right to it.
Oh. Sorry. That was...
Quite the aftertaste.
Yeah.
So aftertaste, you
we're
can
leaving
feel
that
in your
in.
stomach.
We're leaving that in.
Yeah,
That's
it's staying, yeah.
Charles Womack says, what can you tell us about chirku or eat bitterness? I don't
Well,
think...
we just ate bitter now.
That's what we just, this was eating. You know, what's the, I'm not acidic. It's almost like cold and then burning.
It's an interesting
salt.
taste. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you eat glucose or something, it's got a little bit of that weirdness to it.
There's no way that's good for your stomach.
No, I mean, my stomach's feeling something.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I don't like that one bit. Can I find this in the Shiktionary? Yeah, chirku just means to suffer. It means to suffer, to eat bitter, as they say in Chinese. Chirku. Call out 1203. Jeff got a cold. We got him covered.
Yep.
This Yamcha segment of the China Show is brought to you by Lianhua Qingwen Medicine Capsules. Take the pills, Jeff.
Take the pills, Jeff.
Soon to a Xiaban near you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
On Monday, this is going to be a glorious episode. I've been wanting to soft power the audience into watching those ads.
Yep.
The ones that we haven't covered. They're amazing.
Yeah, we got to visit some of the classics too.
Of
Revisit
course,
some of those.
we'll start with those.
Yeah.
Gabriel Keane. Hey, gents. Can't catch you live since I'm at work, but I am now a subscribed ho.
Oh, excellent.
To all those hesitating about Xiaoban Ho, you want it, I assure.
Yes,
Very
there we
much.
go.
This is definitely what you want, I assure.
Honestly, think it's so worth it now that it's half price on sale. Definitely want to get in there, locked into the Xiaoban Ho
Definitely,
sale.
yeah.
You
Get
will
locked
have
in.
fun.
This is going to be a fantastic year. Man, we're up in our game big time.
We are. In the past few episodes, we've really upped the quality.
Yeah.
You'll follow us, okay?
Yes. I may as well throw that in there. Why not? Wrong one. Oh, wrong one.
That's how I feel right now.
Yes, there
You'll
you go.
follow me, okay?
Haze Runner is like low-key entered my vernacular.
Dude, I do it all the time.
Yes, you do too?
Yeah, it's like, you'll do whatever, okay? You know, it's always like
I do that. And I say that to my wife and kids now. And
Yeah.
it sounds like I'm demanding, but I'm not. It's just part of me
Yep.
now because of
Yeah,
we
it's
watch
like-
too much Chinese propaganda.
It's bad, yeah. Like my kid, I'll be like, oh, you'll draw with me, okay? You know, that kind of thing. You know, it's like,
Yes, I love it though. Thank you for Gabriel for bigging up the show because it is awesome.
yeah.
Boyd Arn.